Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and today I want to share another principle that I learned recently from the Navy SEAL community. Yesterday on the podcast, we talked about this idea of failure and how you view failure not as an endpoint, but as an essential step in the learning process. And I shared from Brandon Webb, a former Navy SEAL, current entrepreneur, an equation that he uses to talk about failure plus reflection plus another rep will ultimately lead to competency. And so today I want to share another principle that I learned from the Navy SEAL community that really influences the way that I think about leading and the way I think about my own personal development. And it's this idea that slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And so if you go chat GPT, go Google slow is smooth, smooth is fast, you can learn a lot about this concept and this idea that comes from the military community. And the idea is that if you go slow, sometimes it makes a difference to go slow if ultimately you want to go fast. And there's a few things that are related to this idea is that when you go slow to go fast, you're learning how to do more complex things when you go slowly, so eventually you can go fast. And so doing things right the first time and doing it slowly may be faster in the long run. And so we have a tendency, at least I do, I have a bad tendency of wanting to go fast. I don't know if I could ever go fast enough, or if my team or my business can ever execute fast enough. The speed is always there for me and always a challenge. But I have to remind myself that sometimes I need to slow down, because whenever I go fast, just to go fast, or go fast because it's my tendency, I can rush, I can make mistakes, and then I can have to go back and fix them, which ultimately slows things down. If I would have slowed down in the first place and been more deliberate in what I was doing, then I could have prevented some of the mistakes that I make, or through rushing, or some of the things I have to go back and fix afterwards. And so we need to go slow to go fast. Eventually, the goal is to go fast, but sometimes we have to go slow, which also means it's precision over speed. That when we move slowly and deliberately, our actions become smoother, more controlled, more accurate. And whenever we're smoother, more controlled, and more accurate, we can actually go faster. And the movements that we make, or the skills that we're building, or whatever it is that we're trying to get better at doing, we naturally become faster at doing it as we build our competency by doing it more precise than just doing it for speed. Because there's less waste whenever we do it this way. And so precision over speed is something to think about too. And then you build this muscle memory. When it's a physical skill that you're doing, slow repetition builds proper technique. And it's the same thing if you think about a skill that you're building at work. As a leader, you want to be a better communicator. You want to lead change better. You want to be able to be better at feedback and more consistent at feedback, or have a tough conversation, or cast vision, or be strategic in how you're thinking. Whatever it may be, these skills are built through repetitions over time. And so with time, it starts to become second nature, to where we become unconscious about actually doing it, because we're so competent in doing it. And so I wanted to share that with you, because you may be like me and need to be reminded of slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and be reminded that sometimes we have to slow down to be able to speed up, and we have to focus on being deliberate so that we can maybe feel like we're going slower at the beginning, but ultimately it becomes muscle memory, becomes something we can unconsciously do because we're so competent doing it that we developed a skill that allows us to move fast. And so the go and do is this. Just remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow down where it's appropriate so that you eventually can go as fast as you want to go as a leader.